suffered low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma, hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives, the crew riding around in a Benzo. Red, I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind, now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because a futsal player is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. Finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No? They know that, we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard, and maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Round 21's finally upon us, the concluding curtain calling show for 2024. The second season just about to wrap up. Moreland, Fitzroy to be one of three parts of tonight's closing out games. My name's Adam Palombi, joining you for the final time this season for some men's series futsal action. Hopefully tonight's a real love letter to the facility here in Thomastown, considering it will be the final year in which these contests will be played upon that beautiful blue court that you're seeing on your screen. These two sides locked horns on two occasions in the last calendar week. With Fitzroy winning 4-0 out at Mount Evelyn. And in the Clubs Cup semi-final, it was the defending champions in whom knocked off Fitzroy by 5-0. Tonight's contest, judging by the lineups, a little bit peculiar. Fitzroy in full form. Josh Allen, despite having an injury, is on the bench, although he won't feature. His injury with his ankle will keep him on the sidelines. You'd expect another 2 to 3 months. What could be a major blow to Fitzroy heading into the national championship campaign. Benjamin Cohen and Moanas are the officials in charge. the moment it's a very, very young lineup, and we'll take you through it right now. Ibrahim Habib is the goalkeeper. Mubasher Dustizada joins Lucas Kassin, Bakia Rahimi, Murtaza Rahimi, Zulfikar Ali and Huab Dustizada. As for Fitzroy, no Madcap Mazen Abdallah nursing a dislocated thumb, so we'll see him return hopefully before the Nationals in January. Lachlan Maliaros is the goalkeeper. Kevin Lamb, Ben Shun, Nathaniel Turner, Cosi Rosso, Harry Robotis, Michael Newen are all under the captainship of Scott Rogan. And in typical Foz fashion, we're meant to kick off maybe something of 11 minutes ago, but all sides getting their photos. Of course, Fitzroy will be crowned 11-time champions, regardless of tonight's result. They did it yet again without incurring a single defeat. Something in which Jimmy Soufis and Gabriel Zabayas will be very, very content with. Must be sad at both sides wearing their alternate kits. A fresh look, and I'm all for it. So Lucas Kassin gets this one rolling, and away we go. The last Classico we'll see in Thomastown. Fitzroy will be reeling after that result they incurred, and Scott Rogan's got into work very early. He's attained possession. Moves it on to Cosi Rosso. Fitzroy hadn't scored in their previous game, which is something you don't say too often. Habey had to block, and Cosi Rosso would act upon Habey once more. Morland's already on the back foot. But meanwhile, there might be counter-attack that might brew here. Dustizada let fly, and Mubasher Dustizada scores! That all stemmed from the goalkeeping of Ibi Habey. And Fitzroy committed themselves all the way forward, and in doing so, have conceded, with the Blues hitting the front in the last Classico of all time here in Thomastown. Josh Fusco, if I've got you in the bunker, decent little start to this one, all considered, 2 minutes in.
Well, Adam Palombi, this is not the start I think Fitzroy were expecting, considering the lineup. That's not exactly Morland. It's Morland by name, but hardly any players we would be recognising from this season. I think just Ibrahim Haibi, Lucas Kassin. But at the end of the day, when you wear the Morland badge, I feel like it gives you that sort of just advantage, you know what I mean? It gives you that something to play for, and they've taken advantage of it, certainly.
Of course, the Blues don't exactly have a youth team set up yet, but by judging as to what they've got at their disposal tonight, clear indication of what they might have brewing up in the future. Lots of brothers and cousins, you could argue. Dustizada pair, a Rahimi pair. Wonder how that bodes for their chemistry. As Russo and Rogan look to try make something work from this sideball. Nice packed house here in Thomastown. And Josh, we haven't even fleshed out the full card tonight. The automatic relegation bout is your main event. It comes up at 8:15. Altona Knights, they lock horns with Western City. And there is just so much to play for both sides. City trying to complete the Great Escape. Altona have left that door well and truly open for them to be in this predicament, but they'll play on the final game of the season. Altona win, they're safe for now. Western City win, they will go into the playoffs. It's as simple as that. Altona have not won since beating Western City back in round 14. City fresh off a win against Western United. Both sides leaving it very late in the season, but they still might be on the cards for safety. As Russo has a corner, was issued by Habey's goalkeeping. And Michael Neon will go across the face with nobody home. 3 minutes played, Morlands with a 1-goal lead. And they have a corner with their goal scorer. Mubasher Dustizada, a lot of acceleration about him. Finds Kassin. Dustizada side court. Scott Rogan takes charge. And Habey yet again getting his angles right. Corner for Fitzroy. Scott Rogan trying to find Robotis as Kassin thought about a clearance. Dustizada couldn't get the right touch. And if he had Josh, well, he might have been away. As Rogan, stuttering on court, sat down Dustizada, Havey behind it. And of course, welcome to you watching at home, whether it's on WeFroth, Twitch or YouTube. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. As Meliaros now had to fly at thin air to palm it away. It was Hua Dustizada asking a question or two, and Moreland have started lively. Kassin has his shot blocked following the corner. Kassin arrived and Lucas Kassin scored! Dustizada turned provider. And it was Lucas Kassin who picks out the bottom corner of Meliaros in some style. Josh Fusco down there in the bunker. What sort of result, if Moreland are to achieve it, in terms of the mental psyche, heading forward without their senior players, what sort of indication, if you will, would that leave with Jimmy Soufis and company, considering Moreland don't have any senior players on court, yet they're winning 2-0 currently?
I'm not even sure how to answer that question, to be honest with you. It's just, it would be a shock of the century. That's all I'll say. Look at this goal again.
Century?
I mean, you have senior teams that can't beat Fitzroy, and all of a sudden this youth side will come out and has a 2-goal lead. It's just very interesting.
Must be said, of course, Fitzroy are on demand. There's no denying that, but not so much being on demand, but they are without a couple of their pillar players. But it must be said, Dustizada in Mubasha is having quite the game so far, a goal and an assist. And they're looking prominent on the attack, although they've turned it over, and now Newen took over. Lucas Kassin had to block. 6 minutes played, 2-0 the Blues. As Rogan trying to do that trademark go around Scott Rogan, it was blocked on its journey by Hua Dustizada. And although this game does not mean anything in terms of the title, I'm sure Fitzroy won't want a blemish on their perfect record this season. Robotis missed from point blank range, and I might cross you again, Josh. That could be an indication of what's to come tonight. Something about this Fitzroy side, they're not looking like their usual selves.
It's, the end of the season. They're just trying to get the job done. They've won the title. This would be for 2 seasons in a row undefeated. So, again, Fitzroy, it's hard to say that they are a team that starts slow because they, but they definitely get better in the second half as they warm into the game. We'll probably see that.
Scott Rogan trying to go round on his left. Scott Rogan very close. Kevin Lamb might have been there to follow up at the back post. Havey lets it roll. Lucas Kassin loving the game so far. Mubasha Dustizada, who's asking a couple of questions. He tried combining with his brother. And the Aros has been active, but he's a bit unfortunate. A couple of those goals in which he conceded. I'm not sure the madcap would have gotten there anyway. For his understudy of Meliaros, now Rogan trying to find Chu. Ben Chu's cross. Lucas Kassin's defensive duties have been sound so far. Kevin Lamb, lateral pass, receives it, steps inside. Now Mubasha Dustizada thought about going alone. Utilised his brother's centre court. Fitzroy get back in numbers and they just hold their shape. And I'll tell you what, if Mubasha went solo, that might have been a different outcome. Things aren't exactly clicking at the moment for those in Aqua. As Kassin, Hua Dustizada. Back to Kassin, now Mubasha. Dustizada brothers combining. Kassin, nice weight on it, and Moore looking very comfortable in possession, and they were nearly unlocked. Jimmy Soufis has realised that this game is not exactly going to the script at the moment and has called for a timeout. All cross to our first timeout break of round 21. Be back in just a moment. Kevin Lamb gets the ball moving to Ben Shu, now Cozzy Russo. Jimmy Soufis utilising all that 2 minutes in the team talk. Fitzroy looking that little bit uncertain at the moment. And the Blues on court, in all their youth, are taking the opportunity by its full grasp. It really could be an indication of what's to come with Moreland, although we're very early into this one. 2-goal advantage. If they are to score again, you could argue they could go all the way. And add that blemish to Fitzroy's perfect record. Best described by Josh Fusco as interesting. Could not agree anymore. Azar Lee, Kassin, just Tizada. Fitzroy trying to squeeze, they do so successfully. Rogan for Chu. Pass for Lamb, he steps inside. Scott Rogan awaits the movement. Now Kevin Lamb. Back to Rogan, the Blues firmly behind the ball. And now Kassin isolated. Great judgment of not slowing the game down upon attaining possession. He looks confident now there, Lucas Kassin, although Dustazada had not much court to work with. Bit of flair about this ball inside as Ali, very casual, gets the ball back with a flick. Dustazada out of Mabasha, utilises Kassin, lateral pass. As Hua Dustazada trying to open things up. Doing so, concedes possession. Cozzy Russo fires. Cozzy Russo hits the post. But Benjamin Cohen, I think, in the build-up might have seen something there. In fact, he has. And well, Josh, have I missed something here? Well, it's a free kick for Fitzroy. Not exactly sure what might have occurred there. I don't think Josh is exactly too, well, knowing of what happened either. But regardless, Scott Rogan and company have a free kick. It's the captain behind it. Rogan trying to lay it off. Cozzy Russo, point blank, and yet again, Ibrahim Habe with a big save. I'm loving his game as well. Cozzy Russo took it on the fly, propped up for him invitingly. Peter Parthamos in the building, the founder, the CEO, the man of futsal, not just in Victoria, but nationwide. to our left. We'll try to get him on commentary if we can. In fact, he might be walking up here as we speak. Look to involve him as Chu. Kassin intelligent, trying to clear it off of Ben Chu. Opts for a clearance downfield instead. Cosirosso's touch is heavy, he's out of play. Now Kassin. Mubasha Dustizada. Lucas Kassin works it back forward, Dustizada. Kassin trying to escape the defensive half, twisting and turning from Lem. Ali for Dustizada. They're so confident in possession, these youngsters, although they turn it over, and Kevin Lamb is in the box. Cosirusso is there, but so is Habe. He's saving everything at the moment. The big red wiggle for Moreland. As Chu had it stolen, Maliaros was quick to come off his line, which might have just deterred Ali. Kevin Lamb for Newen. Space opens up with Cosirusso, readjusts his feet nicely. Newen is in, hits the frame of the goal. More prominent perhaps that move from Fitzroy. Hit the post twice, so they're asking questions in their own right. Moore not able to really play the ball out of defence at the moment. Peter! Might have heard they're trying to get Peter up here, but it's rather loud down there at ground level where the court is. Meanwhile, Newen can find space. Ali happy to clear. In fact, it might have been just Dustizada who's happy to clear. Under 10 minutes left in this opening half of round 21. Moreland with a 2-0 lead. They're relishing in it at the moment, the Blues, but Fitzroy hit the post twice. As Lamb works it centrally, it's cut off by Ali. Asked a bit of Kassin, who cleared. He had really nothing on. And Maliaros will claim comfortably. Long searching ball for Cosirusso. Maybe, that's it. Rolls short. Kassin not opting to go on adventure down the flank. He's trying to hold defensively. Newen. Flick pass was there. Robotis exchanging. Kassin clearing, and Walt Moreland haven't exactly had possession for some time now. They're happy to just try to close out the shop. They've got their 2 early goals. As Russo, Newen, Robotis, there's some movement perhaps from Turner. It's cut off by Dustizada. Rahimi coming forward, trying to impose himself. Now Newen. Lateral. Turner. Not on the same wavelength, and slowly but surely Gabriel Zeballos and Jimmy Soufis just getting that touch. Not unnerved, but bothered, if you will. Nice flick on defensively from Hua Dustizada. His touch a bit faint, and the chance will open up, in which Nathaniel Turner will completely rifle in. You can't give the Tigers an inch, because they will make full use of it. Quite the fine finish, and he felt like that was coming. Now Cosirusso has a chance to equalise. It still remained. No, in fact, it didn't. Something from nothing. The game flipped on its head. As Newen utilises Turner. They're queuing up. It was Russo trying to find a pass from Robotis. He could not. Turner happy to buy yet another Fitzroy corner. Newen wants it short. Ali will get in the way of that intended pass. Turner to step around. There's a loose pass, a loose ball rather, that was inviting for Hua Dustizada. Mubasha Dustazada having claims already for player of the match. He's just going that touch quiet since Moreland haven't really had possession. Kassin orchestrating. Bakuya Rahimi can't really move, but will still have possession with Moreland following that side ball. Dustazada, nice combination play, and a chance opened up. At the back post was Rahimi. An eyebrow raiser, that shot combined with a cross. Bad intentions. And the Dustazada brothers are coming forward as Newen, Scott Rogan back on court. Robotis, very deep. Don't usually see him in that kind of position. Rogan's touch. In fact, he let it roll to not have a touch. Rogan out wide. Turner. Kassin can't really go anywhere, but Omeliaros took no chances. And it's going to be a Moreland corner. Rahimi made something from nothing. Dustazada's short pass for Kassin. Side ball yet again with the Blues. Mubasha trying to latch on, keeps it in. Had the height of Robotis there to just bother him before doing anything with the ball, and his presence was enough to force a Dustazada. Well, clearance, if you will. As Lamb for Newen. Scott Rogan. Lateral for Newen. They're trying to build here, Fitzroy. Body work was there from Newen. Inside the last 5 minutes of the opening half. Rogan, not very pretty from the futsal roo. It won't be Haby's ball. Moanas on the far side. Also it's a side ball. Searching pass from Kassin, trying to find Dustazada. Hua Dustazada with Robotis. Lateral for Scott Rogan. Trying to go round. In fact, he can't. He put the burners on Scott Rogan. Just got pushed off it. Dustazada. Kassin. Rahimi turning. But not receiving. Scott Rogan assesses what's ahead of him. Kevin Lamb is there. Reverse pass. A chance opens up. They can't clear Moreland. We also felt half a chance. And got overzealous. But the Blues have called for a timeout. They lead by a goal. But Fitzroy are building for their equaliser. We'll cross back to you very shortly. Moreland have the free kick, and they've got the 1-goal advantage. 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in this opening half. Lucas Cassin. What's ahead of him? Trying to force something perhaps a bit inviting. Moore not able to escape as Scott Rogan. It was denied. Mubasha with a swing and a miss. Tustazada couldn't clear. Was a little bit fortunate there perhaps. The Tigers really trying to press high and force the issue. All Cassin can do is clear as Lamb. Not the worst outcome. In fact, no, it will be. First glance, thought that might have been a Fitzroy side possession. Goes the way of the Blues. Does Tizarda for Lucas Cassin. Movement from Rahimi. And Mubasha. Bit down the court. Lucas Cassin. What can Moreland try to conjure up as an inviting pass? Robotis had to get back and usher it out of play. Scott Rogan wants to get busy, wants to get active. Flash, nice ball for the sniper, Cosy Russo. For Scott Rogan, one-touch futsal. But Kevin Lamb couldn't have the final one. And Josh, before we close out this first half, what are your thoughts surrounding it? It's not exactly the game we expected to see.
No, it's not the game we expected to see, of course, but that was granted with the strange lineups that Moreland had brought to the game, and of course the even stranger scoreline, 2-1. But again, as I said earlier, when you asked me that question, Fitzroy are a team that warms up, and once they get warm, it's going to be very difficult.
Oh, and it was Tizarda who just, well, bluntly pushed Scott Rogan to the ground. No card issued, but Scott Rogan has a free kick just outside the logo. They're in the final minute. Can the champions find their equaliser? Russo's behind it also. Cosy will roll for Scott Rogan on the angle. He wants a corner and will get a corner. Kevin Lamb to deliver. Chip ball's going to flirt with the roof. It's going to hit the head of Rahimi and ultimately go out of play. Scott Rogan, this is not exactly the champions party they had planned for tonight. And Kevin Lamb get it back on their terms. He finds Russo, the chance had opened up, and the sniper from point blank range was perhaps put off by the man mountain of Ibi Habe, who made himself gargantuanly big on that occasion. Lamb keeps it in just. Turnover in play, 3 against 2. Moore might have a chance. The pass is a bit dodgy, and it really put Ali under some stress. That might have been a major missed opportunity, but Moreland have 2 seconds. They have to shoot now, you feel, for something to happen. But what's happening here in Thomastown is that the undefeated champions of Fitzroy are trailing by a goal to Moreland, who lead 2-1. The Blues without the likes of Andre Caro, Adam Cooper. And it's not worth reading their entire senior list, but they're not here. Their kids are here at the moment, and they're having a good time. We'll cross to our halftime break. Can the champions turn it around? We'll find out after this halftime break.
grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what now what a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
What can the champions conjure up? Those in attendance and watching online will be thinking the same. Not that we needed any more drama for tonight, but it's here now in this one. Ben Chu to get us rolling on the start of the second half. Scott Rogan and Kevin Lamb on the flanks. Malcolm Ewan, the defensive outlet. Dustazada brothers out wide with Rahimi and Kassin centrally. Maybe he's a decent keeper with his feet, and well, he was composed in that situation, although he had to clear. True for Scott Rogan. This is meant to be the champions' party. It's currently being turned sour by their long-time rivals, really enjoying the Classico and what it's built to in recent years with the emergence of Moreland, the dominance of Fitzroy. Pascoe Vale, of course, back in the competition. They won the championship this year in Season 1, and in Season 2 will cement themselves as third-place finishers back in the big time of series, which is quite the accomplishment, all considered by those involved at Pascoe Vale. The Chachi brothers, Maurizio Novak, their playing staff especially. Some might question their age, but well, they're still around. They're still looking to cause problems as Dustazada had it blocked, had to slide 2 against 1. Scott Rogan has Kevin Lamb on for the pass. It's the third time in which the Tigers have hit the post. And by judging upon that merit of the amount of times the posts have rattled, Fitzroy would have a not 2-goal lead, but perhaps luck not on their side either. Moreland haven't really asked any questions since having their 2 goals scored. They wanted the corner from that. They thought there might have been a deflection following that clearance from Kassin. Ewan for Scott Rogan. Chu trying to make some movement. Lamb also doing the same. He comes into the centre of the box. Ewan on the edge of it, trying to pick out Kevin Lamb. It will sit up for Scott Rogan, who utilises the side ball. 2-1 in favour of Moreland. Dustazada and Lucas Kassin both on the score sheet. Rogan for Ewan. He let fly. Habe comfortable spot it, poised for the top corner. That's what his height enables him to do. His long throw was poised up for Bakria Rahimi. And he'll have a corner. Imagine the Blues find something from here. Pass back for Dustazada. Kassin had it blocked by Ewan. Dustazada. Just looking to use Habe. Habe said, I don't want to touch the ball with my feet. Kassin had it behind him. Didn't know what to do with it. Holds off Scott Rogan. Gives it to his keeper. Mubasha Dustazada. On for Kassin. They've had some connection tonight, those two. Dustizada trying to step around Cosi Russo. Poised it up for Mubasha. Asked perhaps too much of him. Turner for Russo, for Robotis. Nice cut off by Rahimi, but Cosi Russo was there. Scott Rogan's got the goalkeeper kit on already. Fitzroy might look to play fifth man. In fact, Maliaros has come right off. Fifth man's been activated by the Tigers. Jimmy Soufis realising that, well, he doesn't like what he's seeing and now wants things to be on level terms. Newen. Moreland trying to sit behind the extra player. Russo and Newen exchanging. Scott Rogan in the mix. Back to Newen. They're working away here, the Tigers. Can they find their angle? Newen playing conductor. He's the deepest player. Everyone shoved into Moreland's defensive half. Habe moving left and right. As are all sets of players in unison. As Fitzroy try to find that position to pull the trigger. Russo for Scott Rogan. The sniper gets it back. Robotis is the reverse option. Newen. You'd think there's only 30 seconds left in this one. There's another 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Robotis on the angle for Cosi Russo. They can't seem to find their opening, the champions. Morn really locking up shop. Newen teasing where to go. They're itching so close. Robotis, there's no one home in goals. And Dustizada couldn't get the shot away. Scott Rogan will try this one yet again as the fifth man. Lateral for Michael Newen. Turner's out wide, he receives. Back to Scott Rogan, the futsal route. Newen, Scott Rogan with the orange. Dustizada quick onto Turner. Newen has Robotis, steps around him. Scott Rogan, this is, well, quite the scenes we're witnessing at the moment. Maliaris in the background itching to come back on. Rogan for Russo. There's no opening at all. And Fitzroy are happy to just go left and right. Rogan, Turner peeling away. Russo for Scott Rogan. Cosi Russo yet again. Those here can't seem to blink at the moment. They don't want to miss the opportunity that Fitzroy trying to carve out. Newen for Russo. He thought about it. Gets it back to Sniper, and that's why you wait. Good things come to those who wait. And Fitzroy had patience personified, and once it fell to the feet of the MVP of Cosi Russo, he was simply never going to miss. It's 2 apiece in the Classico. The Blues calling for a timeout. Fitzroy making the fifth man work. We'll cross back to a short timeout break.
The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Two apiece in the Classico. Fitzroy with a lot of patience with the fifth man. Jimmy Soufis had to activate it. And the champions have it back on their terms, but they're not stopping with the fifth man. Maliaros takes his place back on the bench. And Scott Rogan's back on court. And speaking of returns, Frano Saric had featured for Moreland in F-League competition. We haven't seen him in some time, of course. He has recently birthed a daughter, so major congratulations to the Sarge family and Frano in particular. But the force field is back for the Knights, and what a time to come back. They're almost a different beast with Frano Sarge in goal, that of Altona. So just wonder what they can conjure up against Western City, but despite not having results go their way this season, at the back end of it, they've been a side in which have really been competitive in their losses. To the comparison of the Knights. Cannot wait for that relegation bouters. Meanwhile here, Fitzroy trying to fashion an opening again. There's nobody home and Turner had half an angle. Chaby was slightly bothered about, but it just went wide. Maliaros back on. Habe up and under. It's a brilliant ball from the keeper. Just wasn't trapped by Ali. Newen, that's a brilliant pass for Scott Rogan. He goes around Habe. That could have been something. As Newen, back for Scott Rogan. Orange goalkeeper kit on. Robotis thinks about something more central. Scott Rogan's that option. Turner for the sniper. Don't give him a degree of space. Newen back for Scott Rogan. Fifth man works for Fitzroy once. They really took their time. They were so patient with it to get their equaliser. Can they find the goal to put them in front? Rogan for Newen. Back to Scott Rogan. Doing the halfway point of the second half, it's Newen who strikes the frame of goal yet again for Fitzroy. In the last series league Classico, it was the Blues hit the post on more occasions. It was one of the greatest performances of all time for Adam Cooper of Moreland, and was awarded man of the match despite being on the losing side. He's not here, but Moreland are making do without them at the moment, their senior players. Habe, his own fifth man, uses his body to keep it away from Robotis, but his clearance goes long to the keeper. And now Rogan is back on yet again for Maliaros. Now Mills and Sakos also on the bench, coaching the Blues tonight. And speaking of coaching, perhaps a bit of insight to fill everybody in on. Nico Ignatiadis could not make tonight's relegation bout, given he has a wedding to partake in this evening. He wasn't too pleased about it, when having spoken to him about it before this one started. But you won't see him for the Knights. What could that add to the contest, you wonder? But I'm sure he'll be watching on, perhaps screaming through his phone. It's all a matter of whether his players have that telepathic sort of connection with their coach. Cassin thought about letting it fly, and well, into the sky it went. But in fact, on its journey, as deemed by Mo Anas, it's taken a touch. And now Moreland have a corner. This would be a spanner in the works. Short for Dustizada, the two brothers combine yet again. Now Cassin. Very tight angle, Lucas Cassin. Maliaros comes across. It's Cassin, shaped from the side ball. Newen in the way. Our commissioner, Joe in the building, exchanging with Parthamos. Meanwhile on court, Dustizada tried to find Turner. Long ball forward, Cassin cuts it off. There's no goalkeeper for Fitzroy. Rogan is that man at the moment. Now Kevin Lamb. Scott Rogan, can the Blues find possession? Robotis is the most deepest player. Scott Rogan wants movement. Robotis provides it. Lamb tucks in with Rogan. They exchange possession. Robotis for Lamb. They're queuing up. It's a big block. Dustizada needed to make it. And in fact, he did. Rogan to Russo. They exchange. Final 11 minutes. Stoppage time also to be forthcoming within the last 5. Rogan back to Lamb. Robotis is there. He gets his shot away. Habe blocks. Dustizada can go for home. He lets it roll for his brother, Hua Dustizada. But Rogan, well, you blink and he's already in the place you're expecting to send the ball towards. Across the face of goal, the ball was inviting for Turner. Nguyen comes back on in his place. Lamb, Scott Rogan. Nguyen's out wide. Wider is Kevin Lamb. Rogan. For Russo, they're really trying to break down this tight-knit defensive. Moreland at the moment. Rogan for Russo. He needs half a chance, and that's a brilliant save by Habe. He had a split second to reply, and Ibi Habe replied in the best way you could as a goalkeeper. Nguyen's cross is deep for Kevin Lamb. He can hit them. Scott Rogan for Nguyen. They're queuing up in the middle yet again. Fitzroy, the Tigers, trying to find that goal to put them in front. Lamb shifted angles. And Dustizada blocked along with Rahimi. Lou's trying to spoil the party. Kevin Lamb for Scott Rogan. Cozzy Russo tried the reverse option. Robotis would have been home. Nguyen for Scott Rogan. Kevin Lamb. Robotis back to Kevin Lamb. Scott Rogan. Scott Rogan once more. Kevin Lamb shifted angles momentarily. Nguyen back to Scott Rogan. Last 9 minutes of play. Lamb stepping inside. Scott Rogan. They're making work with Cozzy Russo. He goes down. Question is it right inside the box? Moanas issues a card to Hua Dustizada. In fact, it's right on the edge of the area. The Blues will try to set up a wall here. Can they get let off the hook? Habe organising it as promptly as he can. Nguyen stands behind it. Close proximity. There's Nguyen. Scores from the free kick. He picks out the corner. And Fitzroy pick out the goal to put them in front for the first time in this Classico. It took them until the last 8 minutes of the second half that they find the goal they required. The Blues have been valiant in the defensive outlet, but have finally cracked under the pressure. It's now their turn to respond. Scott Rogan's put away the goalkeeper kid. In fact, it might be on the body of Josh Allen. Not sure if he can use it. In fact, I can tell you he can't use it. Cozzy Russo, lovely bit of skill. He sat down Hua Dustizada. Robotis stepping around. Dustizada getting back. Cozzy Russo barely had to look at goal. Can the Blues find a response? The ultimate question that they're going to try find an answer for. Dustizada with Cozzy Russo. Mubasha could not pick out Lucas Cassin. And while Josh Fusco, they were certainly building Fitzroy. They were very patient. They've got their 2 goals to not just equalise, but have them in front finally.
Well, I did tell you, they're a team that warms up, and at the end of the day, 5-on-5, this was a fairly even matchup. I think Moreland had the upper hand in the first, but once they threw that flying keeper, I don't think they had a chance.
Cozzy Russo, it's another big save by Habe. That might have been right at him. Maybe he had to get his palms behind it. Might get your thoughts, Josh, when we can, on the goalkeeping. Ibi Habe tonight, he's been electric in goal. There's a corner for Scott Rogan. Picks it off the fly, and Habe yet again makes a big save.
he'd be up there for player of the match.
Josh, he's saved everything. The goals he's conceded, you can't argue, have been at fault of the keeper.
No, he's been phenomenal.
He's been exactly what Josh mentions, young Ibby Habe. Quite the goalkeeping pedigree and player he's yet to still mould into. Meanwhile, at the other end, the Irish might be called upon here. It was a rare-sided goal for Bakuya Rahimi. And he might be a little bit disgruntled with himself. In fact, he was. He slammed the sideboarding. More now trying to ask a question or two. Nearing stoppage time. Just Tizada. Deflected. Very, well, what's the word you use there, Josh? It was very teasing, that deflection. And Morn to have a corner. Just Tizada. Combines with Hua. He lets the pass just go afraid. Russo now back in possession. Fitzroy casually stroll forward. They reinstate themselves in Morn's attacking, or defensive half rather. Rogan has options plentiful out wide. Robotis is one of those. He steps inside. Brilliant goal. Champion's goal from a champion player of Harry Robotis. He sat down Dustizada and upon having time on his left, picked out the far left corner. There's a reason why they have got all the quality in the world more. Fitzroy. Undone Moreland with a brilliant goal. And they might be home here, Josh.
I think that'll be it, to be honest. It'll be very, very hard for Moreland to come back with only 5 minutes left. But there's stop clock, there is a chance. And that goal, you can't really give too much on the keeper again. Really wide open.
Perhaps more Stazada, just a little bit cautious. He has the yellow card. Doesn't want Moreland to go down to one less player. Hence, he hasn't really been able to put in a proper standing tackle. He was sent to the ground, the youngster there, though, it must be said, by Robotis, with a bit of evasive footwork. Moreland scored 2 goals in quick succession. They now need 2 goals in quick succession to get themselves back on level terms. They've done it in one half. Can they do it in the other? Different circumstances, yes, but I'm sure they'll try to conjure up something. Robotis flicks for Rogan. He can't keep it in. And I don't know about you, Josh, but I simply cannot wait for the contest that follows this one. Meanwhile, there's no goalkeeper, and Newen's going to take his time. In fact, he's going to just casually tap it in. And there it is for Fitzroy yet again. Habe tried to play the 5th man. Of course, he has got on-court playing ability, featuring for Northern Phoenix as an on-court player. But his goal is left wide open. And of course, more they're going to try to force the issue with a 5th man extra player, but in doing so, they've conceded already. Of course, major shout out to Seb Wickett, not here tonight, but enjoying on the stream. Involved heavily with Fitzroy this season in both their youth and men's competitions. Got a lot of futsal ahead of him. He's quite the promising young player. Lawn corner yet again. Habe moves it on for Cassin. He let it fly low and wide. I might cross back to Josh Fusco. Josh, the next match needs no introduction. I cannot freaking wait for the automatic relegation. Well, not grand final, but go home show. It's do or die for both teams. It cannot get any more tense than that. It's expected to be quite the, well, bout met with caution from both sides. How do you feel heading into it as a neutral?
It's going to be the best game of the season, I reckon.
Wow. It's a big claim.
Well, it has the most
Josh.
on the line. Well, okay, that is a lie. I take it back. The second Fitzroy Moreland game is the best game of the season, but this has the most consequences at the moment. So there'll be a lot of heart played. Only 2 referees, so we'll see if it stays in control.
Having spoken to Mo Anas and Benjamin Cullen heading into it on Wednesday night. I don't think they'll do. I think they're rather, aware of the amount of perhaps verbal sprays they may cop from both sets of players and managers. There is simply too much on the line. Of course, a win does not ensure safety for both sides. It means they get to fight for another day. They'll have to face off against the likes of FC Carlton Heart. And while there could be a third spot in the championship, Josh, still available, considering it's very even in the playoff race in the championship. If you've got any knowledge of it, we might ask you for it, but Newham will go over the top asking for his second, but he couldn't find it. In terms of the playoffs though, Josh, I know St George Bulls, as Afa mentioned, they will be in series futsal competition next season. Cannot wait for them to be competing at the top of the summit. Of course, we love how they bring a lot of crowds in and are heavily involved as Kevin Lem will hit the crossbar from downtown. The fans loved it. Just to start a memo on this one. Executes a nutmeg. We'll have to get Josh's thoughts in a sec as Cassin had opened up. But he couldn't finish this contest. Just asking for a couple more footnotes. Fitzroy strolling in and will remain undefeated. Not just this season, but this entire year. But Josh, if I can quickly gather your knowledge on the championship. Who will be in the playoffs?
I think it's decided this week. I believe AKU will be the third team though. I believe
by prediction
that'll
or
be AKU.
As in by prediction, or is that something that's set in stone?
I don't think it's 100% set in stone. I'd have to double check. It's very close. It is very, very close indeed.
Of course, a
I
championship.
think if they lose and the Northern Phoenix win, they can jump them.
Oh, yes, they can. They're equal on points, RQ and Phoenix. And Thornbury United have, well, a very
Thornbury can't do it.
quiet shout. Oh, Josh reckons they can't
They
do
can't do it. They can't do it.
it. Despite being on level points. It got very close. Preston had an awful start to the season. And it got out of the automatic relegation position, which Northcote will succumb to. But they found some form, Preston's men's team.
Unless Thornbury can do it. I need to check this now.
Maliaros attempting his Mazin Abdallah. Oh, he might have been, to bring it into footy terms. Man of the mark wasn't standing there. But Josh, having a look at this ladder in the championship, it is stupidly close. And that is a major asset to series futsal. And it's men's competition. There's so much at stake on Sunday. Josh will be here, of course, on media obligations. Joe and Sam will have a field day with that one. For the Go-Ho Show of 2024. Of course, Clubs Cup. The final to be played out, Western and Moreland will lock horns yet again. And then it's Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome to Darebin Community Centre. As we look to ever grow our presence across Asia and Australia here at Series Futsal. Last footnote for the champions. Can the Blues find a consolation? Fitzroy closing in yet again. It's their 11th title. That's to be awarded to them. Jimmy Soufis, Gabriel Zabios, a major testament to their coaching acumen. They get it done in flying colours. They keep their perfect record firmly intact. And for an 11th time in their club's history, are champions of the men's series futsal competition. Scott Rogan will lift the cup, although it was said and done many weeks ago. Tonight will be their party. And although the Blues had tried to ruin that party celebration with 2 early goals, Fitzroy weathered the storm, played the 5th man, and we're winners, 5-2. As the players of Fitzroy go on with the trophy festivities. Josh Fusco, a word on the 11-time champions from yourself.
One word?
Many as you like.
Undeniable.
Undeniable.
Undeniable. And now they'll do the awards ceremony, and we'll find out Golden Glove, top scorer, I believe MVP. So definitely stick around for that. And Adam, I think you'll talk through it.
Only if you want me to, Josh.
I think the people need you.
That's never been said before, but I appreciate it, Josh. Otherwise, no, what can really be said about Fitzroy? They're, like you mentioned, Josh, completely undeniable. They always manage to find a way, or they had made some very young signings at the start of the season. They lost the likes of Jorge Arturo Diaz. He went to Pascoe Vale. But they're just a different beast, this team. It's, like you mentioned, Josh, undeniable. They're not just prominent here in Melbourne. They're globally renowned. Corey Swall, Scott Rogan, stepping up on the biggest stage possible for futsal. The Futsal Roos at various tournaments. Josh Allen, bar his injury, and Kozi also were on the precipice of a call-up. And it's just a real testament, you could argue, to Jimmy Soufis. He's been involved in this game for the longest of times. Nearly, dare I say, for half of his entire lifespan. And, well, his hard work is coming to full fruition right before your very eyes. In terms of most valuable player, well, I think it has to be one man. I know Josh will agree with me on this one, considering his consistency in quality. Josh, who am I thinking?
Pardon?
In terms of the MVP, who's the man that's going to take it home? I know who it might be.
It's probably going to be Kozi.
And, well, great minds do think alike.
It's probably
exactly
going to be Kozi.
right. I think it will have to be Kozi also that ultimately takes it home yet again.
You could give it to a lot of players this season. I mean, very much a lot of really good players.
Still feel as if Adam Cooper of Morns might have had a fair claim to it. Scott Rogan, of course, always instrumental. A couple of players that might have flown under the radar that weren't exactly acknowledged adequately this season also could be in the mix, but if you're not at the top of the summit, it doesn't really matter. And that's what Fitzroy have been saying for some time in their performances. And they get it done yet again. Of course, a whole dynamic shift come next year, which is not too far away, with the bigger court and the upgrade to that, but I just think that, well, despite the upgrade perhaps in facility and court size, might not exactly matter, which is a really scary proposition for other tenants in series futsal, an even more prosperous idea for those in Fitzroy colours. We'll cross to a short commercial break, considering the festivities haven't started yet, and not to keep everyone waiting at home. Of course, the Knights and Altona lock horns with Western City after the festivities of Fitzroy's 11th title. So we'll cross to a short commercial break. Bear with us. Sam Masters, the man on the ceremonies. Of course, you've heard his voice on Championship Hour and on Championship Sundays with the Commissioner, Joe Akon. Much love for both of them. It's always a pleasure when I get to work alongside them. Provide a lot of moments of, well, comedy and have that real genuine feel about them. Two great people. Of course, Tamzilla also on call with the ceremonies too. The Pope is Catholic after all. Cosy Russo takes it out yet again. Crowd enjoying their Cosy chants. He's your Golden Boot recipient, the sniper, Cosy Russo. He's running. Manager of the season awarded to Gabriel Zeballos. Clean sweep for the Fitzroy man in charge in 2024. Outspoken, yet gentle and lovable, Gabriel Zeballos. And the Mad Cat, Mazen Abdallah. Clean sweep for him in 2024. Takes out the Golden Glove. Despite one of those gloves he's got at the moment, all casted up. Spent some time with FC Carlton Heart in Season 1 this year. Returned to Fitzroy in that mid-year January transfer window. And took out both Golden Gloves. And well, Josh Allen will have to, unfortunately for him, just make his way to both Tamzilla and Joe on crutches. Takes out the Best Young Player Award, Josh Allen, I believe. It's a bit hard to hear, of course, with that how close the stadium is and all that sort of jazz, but another award for Josh Allen. Really hope to see him back on court for Fitzroy in the near future. What an asset he is to them. A clean sweep for Cosi Russo, the MVP. And golden boot goes to their number 4 Fitzroy. Cosi Russo gets it done once more. And in fact, it wasn't Cosi Russo who took out the most valuable player. It's Scott Rogan of Fitzroy. He had a tremendous season. As the captain trots toward the award, that will be his. He will take it home. And well, he's certainly going to merit it. And that's the festivities all wrapped up. Fitzroy to lift their 11th. "11 times. 11 times they've done it, Fitzroy. It's a brilliant feat by the Imperative Club themselves. And they get it done with flying colours, remaining undefeated for the entire calendar year. incredible.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detailed, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
It simply all comes down to the next 46 minutes of futsal for both these two sides. It can't get any more nerve-wracking than that. Altona lock horns with Western City, in which is the Relegation, if you will, of tonight's round 21 action. Whoever loses will be in the championship next year. It's a daunting daunting thought for both sets of players and managers. David Sarich and Noel Solma were rather reserved before tonight's game was to ignite. And what's expected here is to be nothing short of something completely eye-catching. Many fireworks to be ignited in this one. As for David Sarich's lineup, the force field, Fernando Sarich returns. Mark Sarich also in attendance. Michael Latini, Jurupong Darabong's the understudy goalkeeper. Yanni Pira, Berard Bezidpour, Thomas Natoli, Seb Locke, Sinan Gulak and Damien Rasticic, all at the disposal of Mark Sarich. Nico Gnardiadis, of course, with his wedding, hence he won't be in attendance on the touchline. As for Noel Solma, Andy Trin, Nam Pham. It's a name we haven't seen in some time, but he's back tonight. Thomas Ellis, Ibrahim Kane, Trevor Sesmakula, Blue Co, Javaro Nepomuceno, Daniel Souza, and the returning Daniel Jaramillo in goal. Bin Tran, the understudy. Their last win, the Knights, was against City 7 weeks ago. There's been many absentees for both sides. Knights in the first season this year finished 4th. City had finished 3rd. It is nearly a complete contrast in terms of where they were situated at the mid-year point of 2024. To now be locked in a relegation battle, but they've both left it to the last day of the season, is something I'm sure that was not forecast by many. But nonetheless, here we are. Altona couldn't close the gap on City. As the ball gets rolling, the relegation bout here in Thomastown has commenced. Nepomuceno on court with Trin, Souza and a returning Nam Pham. In fact, that might be Blue Coat. Just rather surprised that Nam Pham has returned at this part of the year. We haven't seen him for an ungodly amount of time, but Ben Tran will start in goal. Joe Miller hasn't had much match fitness in recent weeks, perhaps the reason why he hasn't gotten the nod from Noel Solma, as Sarich tried to loft at Nepomuceno, thought to test something early of the force field. Yanni Piro just can't seem to get the ball moving. Thomas Natoli joins Sinan Gulak and Seb Locke all on court. The human freight train Berard Bezidpour, another player we haven't seen in some time. I think Pasco Val's last appearance for Berard. As Seb Locke hits it low. In contrast, the City bench rather reserved. The Knights bench already up on their feet. This one will be tantalising as Nepomuceno wanted Blue Co. Nepomuceno, on for Co, out of court. It's been such a strange year for both sides, really. Western City in the back end of it have been so competitive, yet not close to 3 points. It took Pasco Val to penalties. They were victorious against Western United, which set us up for this contest here. Great game by Javai Nepomuceno on that occasion to lift up his newly founded Western City side as Trin had it caught behind him. There's been so many changes, as mentioned on a weekly basis with City. Kevin Lamb, Aaron Fung, Aaron Yu, Dama Georgie. Major key roles at the club which just evaporated over the mid-year transition, of course, and behind-the-scenes staff as well. But Osama has tried desperately. He's pulled out all the stops. Getting Daniel Souza back on the court is a tremendous effort. Quite the esteemed player in his own right, but well, it was tipped that his futsal days were behind him, but here he is back on court again. As Nepomuceno, Trent and Co are waiting. Daniel Souza. City love asking questions, finishing perhaps their biggest caveat, if you will. It's a great ball from Nepomuceno, and it was Souza just spinning away. As Altona try to find some comfort in possession. Josh Fusco down there in the bunker. How tense is it currently in Thomastown?
Well, Adam, you'd have a better sense of it than I would. I'm all the way locked away in what we call the bunker, so I can't quite feel the stadium atmosphere. But judging by what's on stake, I'd have to say very high.
Not at stake, of course. It's do or don't tonight. It's as simple as that. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And while many City alumni are in attendance, Kevin Lamb watching on. Nam Pham back on court. Been the longest time since I've been able to call that name. And God, it's good to see him. No peroxide in his hair, though, as Nam Pham. Brilliant ball for Nepomuceno. Nam Pham one on the back, took it with his left, gets it with his right. Atoli gets in the way. The defensive grind, if you will, of Altona, if they are to be victorious, will be their key to victory. Nepomuceno, it's usually Javaro's show. Brilliant ball, it was a flick on from Ko that arrived. And that would have been some way to start for City. Saric in the way, as always. But the force field had to be vigilant. Seb Locke. Ko is there, it's crafty from Locke. It's kept in by Natoli by the skin of its teeth, the ball. Souza, centre court. Ko goes down from Locke. Benjamin Cullen believes that's a foul. City earned the free kick. Although Josh touched on it narrowly, it is rather tense in here. Many watching on, many nervous to see what's going to transpire. Daniel Jaramillo, perhaps the most nervous of them all, is Nepomuceno from the free kick. Shot hits the wall. Pham hits it into Natoli. Corner for Western City. Tom Ellis enters the mix. Chipped up for Nepomuceno. Great touch by the man from Curaçao. Shifts it on to Susan. Natoli with a nice read. Saric will claim. Thomastown this time of year always buzzing. The show court's providing some ambience in the background as well as Rastasic. Back on court. Alice takes over. Nepomuceno on his left. He squared it for Alice. Gulak with Nam Pham, perhaps in size differentiation. The most disparaging on court. David Saric not happy. The City have a call go their way. Whoever's else was Sinan Gulak and trying to attain possession. Alice on for Pham. It's been all City so far in this opening 8 minutes of futsal. Souza let fly. As the human freight train has departed the station, on comes Berard Bezatpour. Mark Saric also on court, so a bit of a taller dynamic perhaps now with Altona. And the likes of Rastasic and Saric both on court. What can Berard provide also in his fine vintage? Alice stepping inside, going for a bit of a journey is Alice. Altona love just creating a force field behind the force field. They love sending their opponents out wide on attacks. Nothing really clear cut. That's a brilliant ball for Mark Saric. It's an even better save by Bin Tran. And Saric wasn't too far away at the other end. Now Flannel Saric wants to step up. The force field, thought about it. Goes to Pira. Rastasic in range. Souza there to block. The Saric name runs very, very deep with Altona. As Flannel Saric. Lovely ball for Berard Bezatpour. Shifting, turning Berard Bezatpour. Denied by Tran. Now Nepomuceno keeps it somehow. Nam Pham has Daniel Souza. Look towards Nepomuceno. Alice making some movement. Nam Pham lateral. Pham stepping inside there with Alice. The ball was up for grabs. No one took it. Now a three-man weave for Altona. Rasticic goes down. That's a good outcome for the Knights. And they earn a free kick. Promising position. Michael Latini on court. He can let them fly. Lightning Latini, that is. And well, Rasticic also has quite the strong foot on him, but it will be Michael Latini's free kick. Bintren organising the wall ahead of him. Lovely feel to this one already. Latini steps up. The shot might have hit Bezapor, you know. Rasticic has it blocked. Perhaps the best Knights chance I've had so far. The ball's evaded everybody. It's come behind into, well, the behind the goal away end, if you will, here in Thomastown. The Series Futsal Arena court. Mark Saric has a corner. Rolls it back to Frano Saric. The force field assesses what's ahead of him. And well, Tran wasn't wanting to claim. He palms over instead. Another corner for the Knights. Now Anas says no, not this end. The other one. Ani Pira and Natoli just conversing with Frano Saric. Rasticic takes a touch, it deflected on its journey. Bintran claims comfortably. Nam Pham. What's ahead of him? Measured for Nepomuceno, where Bezapor was with him. Imagine those guys in the same team. Pham, meanwhile! Gleaming opportunity for City. Nam Pham knew the goalkeeping brilliance of Frano Saric, hence tried to tuck it. Good night, Irene, to the far left corner, the right of the keeper. In doing so, had it go wide. Pham, Souza circling, pivoting towards the middle. Alice could not pick out Souza. Josh Fusco, your thoughts on this one so far? It's close.
Well, there's been a few times where they've been knocking on the door, both Altona and Western City. So, again, I think they're both cautious not to make a mistake. At the same time, one goal in this type of match can be absolutely just game-changing.
It's really a matter of who blinks first, hence the ladder being so tightly knit at the moment. It's so even in terms of possession and ascendancy. Could argue City have been asking more questions, but Altona, each time City are to find one of their own, as Souza can utilise Alice. Bezapor wants to run at Souza. Still going was Barad Bezapor. Ball stayed in, you know. And it will be a corner for the Knights. It's stayed in by the skin of its teeth, the futsal ball, as Berard went for one of his notorious runs. Latini's delivery. He's asking where are his players. Rasticic, it was rather awkward, but dealt with by the goalkeeper. But Rasticic takes over. Saric thought about the reverse option, but will score. Mark Saric for Altona. And the deadlock is broken in this relegation battle. A brilliant finish by Mark Saric. The angle was obscure. The finish full of quality. Tran's goalkeeping, could argue, not too prominent there. The keeper perhaps just bothered by the idea of a cross, and in doing so left his post open. Meanwhile, City trying to formulate a response. It was Alice testing Saric, and now it's up for Noel Sorma's side to try and get this back on level terms, Josh.
Exactly, but it's a long game. Still 10 minutes left in this half, 30 minutes left in the game, but just above that. So there's plenty of time for Western City. They don't need to be panicking just yet.
That's exactly what I'm sure is going through the mind of Noel Sorma. All considered, his players can't go all out already. Have to take a measured approach to getting on level terms. Alice with Pham. Souza, lovely touch. Nepomuceno thought about something special. We saw him on City's last outing 13 days ago. In fact, 14 days ago, rather. Sit down the Western United keeper to put City in front in that clash, that Western derby. Pham with Nepomuceno. Loose touch from Javaro. Mark Saric got in the way. Nepomuceno shifting gears, striking Nepomuceno. Saric saving, Latini not clearing. Alice touching inside. Rampaging was Alice. He gets the free kick. Each time Javara and Nepomuceno gets anywhere near the futsal ball, Josh, the hairs in your arm just stand up. As if there's static electricity just shifting through the entire place. That's the sort of player he is. He puts the ball down. Ibrahim Kane on court. What can he provide to this one? As Nepomuceno has a genuine opportunity from this free kick. It's in a prominent area. What can the man from Curacao do with the dead ball? Western trailing by a goal. Nepomuceno from the dead ball. It's a big save by Flannel Saric. How could have dislocated someone's wrist, given how much power was on it. But Saric stood tall. Cross comes in. Over the top. It was not really met by Kane. Saric doesn't want it, but says Nantoli take it. Mark Saric, great hold-up play. Latini couldn't get around Fam. Now Sesmakula, he's in the mix. Got 2 nights to get around. And Seb locks on up with Benjamin Cullen. But the call will go City's way. Sesmakula's cross. Nepomuceno coming short. Javaro trying to withstand Mark Saric. Which way is Nepomuceno going to go? He's nearly off the ball. Free kick. And well, David Saric has been very vocal early on. Benjamin Cullen's going to have his work completely cut out for him on that manager touchline from both sides. Very obscure angle, but Nepomuceno has an opportunity. Sesmakula's a bit shorter. Fam wider. Kane at the back post. Nepomuceno's delivery or shot. Be blocked by Gulak. Under the last 8 minutes in this first half. Sesmakula! Saric saw it within a split second and readjusted accordingly. Fam for Sesmakula a bit short. Natoli gets in the way, and that will be Altona Knight's ball. That's the outcome thereafter. Saric will have possession. He wants his players to go further down to try open things up offensively. Yanni Pira was poised for the pass. The magician. Bit too much on it from Flannel Saric. Nam Fam for Nepomuceno. A little bit deeper, Javara. Cross-court pass for Fam. First time for Kane. Cut off by Gulak. Which way is Sinan Gulak going to twist towards? Yanni Pira. Angle's getting tighter. Settles for a side ball. City just dropping in intensity. Altona starting to have the ascendancy. Fam's delivery. Cut out. They're still going with Yanni Pira. Was not dealt with at all. And Bintran somehow has the ball. Nepomuceno. Sesmakula an option. Fam out wide. Tried to utilise Sesmakula, and Altona are doing a very good job of making City go wide as Flannel Saric thought, well, anything Mazen can do, I can do better perhaps. A brief footnote on the season, but commentators' goal of the season has been awarded in succession to Mazen Abdallah for his goal in round 5 against Pascoe Vale, where he went over the top and beat the esteemed goalkeeper of Blade when he's made an appearance for Pascoe Vale this season. So if you're listening or watching the Mad Cat, well done to you. Nepomuceno, good control from Locke. It's going to bounce out of play. Nam Fam for Javara Nepomuceno. City hunting for an equaliser. Altona holding them at an arm's length at the moment. Nam Fam inside to Kane. Back for Nam Fam. He couldn't reach it. Seb Locke defensively sound. Yanni Pira might be in here. He's still going. Yanni Pira round the keeper. He went and he scores. It's 2-0 to Altona. Magic from the magician Yanni Pira. And he puts Altona into a 2-goal lead. Watch this back in the replay and drink it in. He held off Sesmakula, went around Bintran and in for 2-0. That's brilliant from Yanni Pira. Josh Fusco.
Yes, Adam.
How good was that?
That was in the biggest game of their season. Takes a certain type of audacity. What a goal. That's all I can say, Adam. Really just cheeky from Yanni Pira.
We might cross to a short commercial break. The relegation battle currently in the hands of Altona City with a 2-goal deficit to chase. We'll be back in a slight moment.
Important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Bit of magic from Yanni Pira. He's been lacking that, you could argue, in this season, the second one of this year for Altona. But on the big stage, he provides. City, you feel the next goal very important. Either way it goes, it could be detrimental. Nepomuceno stepping inside. It's blocked by Yanni Pira. City, frankly, in my opinion, the grain of salt, take it, need the next goal. Without it, they could be in some obscurity. Sesmakula from Nepomuceno. Kane is out wide. Pham back to Kane. Jivara Nepomuceno has to get busier, although being rather involved. Sesmakula can't get around to Toli. David Sarge enjoyed that one. Nam Pham. Nepomuceno keeps it in. He strikes Nepomuceno. Corner City. Sesmakula places the ball down. Chip ball poised for Nepomuceno. He's going to get there. It's a great ball from Sesmakula. Incisive came Sesmakula. Yanni Pira. Instinctive by Nam Pham. And Josh, while I have you quickly, while Benjamin Cullen mops up the froth on court, Jaramilo's in attendance. It's not a knock on Bintran, of course, this next statement, but Ron has opted to utilise Bintran rather than Jaramillo.
Yeah.
Audacious strategy, perhaps.
It depends. Depends on who you favour as a keeper. Really, they're two top keepers.
Dare I argue, though, and it's not a knock on Tran, of course, but I'll say it very cautiously. Jaramillo provides that touch more height, perhaps shot-stopping ability. Dare I argue, it might have been perhaps the option to go with Jaramillo, although he hasn't had much match experience in recent weeks. That would be the reason why he's not maybe match seasoned, but perhaps just a slight one there. It's a bit of an eyebrow opener. Tran's been okay so far, but I just wonder if it was to be Jaramillo instead, as Yanni Pira takes charge in the engine room. It's a big save onto the post by the keeper. And now Nam Pham transitions to Nepomuceno. It got a bit messy. It's not a knock on Tran, of course, those statements. It's more a testament to the goalkeeping ability of Jaramillo, considering how prominent he was for Western United last season. Though his availability has been scarce for his new employer. Certainly was one of the more respected keepers in the first season's competition. Nam Pham stepping up, utilising Nepomuceno. Latini closing shop. Noel Soma and his side need something, you feel, before this half closes out. Rasticic in prime position. Isolated Rasticic, he's around the traffic and nearly in for 3. And he knew it, Rasticic. His hands remain on his head. It's an Altona Knights corner. They're looking like a well-oiled machine at the moment. Been lacking for some time, this amount of cohesion. from the Knights, but they've found it on a night where they need it most. Frano Saric takes the roof off, says bring it to me, and he finishes from inside his own half the force field. It was a knuckleball of the highest order from one of the best goalkeepers we've seen in this competition's history. And upon the biggest stage, Frano Saric puts Altona 3 goals to the good. And he follows up with a big save, but Nepomuceno will restore order. Right when it was needed. There has been a lot to unpack in the last 30 seconds. Josh Fusco, where do we start?
I can't believe Frano, just the audacity just to take that shot on. I mean, unbelievable. We'll see it again right here. Here it is from Frano.
There might be no time as... Oh, there's a lot to unpack in that play. Bezapur was in on goal. Namfair about to commit a tactical foul. There's going to be protests that go everywhere here. If he claims for a red card on Namfair. There's a timeout to be issued also, I believe. No, Soma wants it. Where does this go? Bezapur was in behind. Namfam said, "Nah, I'm taking your legs out."
Listen, that could be...
Berard, that has to be red, Josh, you feel.
You know, I could
There's
just...
the
I could
intent
see,
for the ball.
Listen, I could see the referees thinking that maybe he was going off to the side and that's why they give me... it has to be. It has to be.
That has to be a red card, Josh. I think there's no
I
two ways about it.
I don't even think he went for the ball.
It's no ball. I'd be very surprised if Moanas and Benjamin Cullen saw it the other way. Joe Akon also
Here it is, look.
on duty there in the far corner.
He's not going for the ball.
He's nowhere near the ball.
Just collected him. Nah, that's a red.
I understand the thought process of Nam Pham on that occasion, but also at the same time, Josh, another replay, of course. I don't mean to be doing it, but I have been getting Blue Co and Nam Pham just jumbled up tonight. They've both got the fresh fade going for them. Very similar height. To my perhaps excuse for that, but could be inexcusable. I do apologise. But, well, it reminds you of something you've seen perhaps between Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. No goalkeeper to speak of, though Tran was present. And the Wolfsburg player upon the counter-attack had completely chopped at the legs. Of the Hoffenheim attacker.
Well, here it is, again. Just wanted to show Frano's goal one more time.
And it was Nam Pham.
Really put us in shock.
Oh, the human freight train of Berard Bezapur. He felt would have done something there. It was a genuine goal-scoring opportunity. And meanwhile, in the midst of all that, Josh, Nepomuceno scored. Saric made a big save. The ball fell to the man from Curaçao, who finished. He was almost angry with the shot he took on. His frustrations taken out on the ball, which got City back to a 2-goal deficit, which was much needed, mind you.
Hold on, I have information. Comment section showing Adam Cooper writing, "I need you, Palombi."
It's not information we need in this game. I need Adam Cooper. Much more than anyone else. Like a hero of the night, but... Well, I think at the moment either side could definitely utilise the playing brilliance of Adam Cooper. Not sure if D-Man would allow for a one-game loan, but...
So I want to say this. You've given commentator's goal of the season to Mazen Abdallah. It's interesting.
It might need deliberation, that call.
There's a few goals, but well, you know, it's a good goal.
I think in terms of circumstance, in terms of the moment, it's certainly up there. Adam Cooper certainly is in for contention, considering he nutmegged player of the season, nutmegged MVP of last season. Sorry, broke the tackle of Cozzy Rousseau, megged Scott Rogan.
It's red. He's gone. He's gone. He's sent marching. It's a long road back to wherever he lives.
Well, forget goals of this year in this most important clash between these two. Nam Pham, who hasn't been featured much this year for City upon his return, gets sent off. There's 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this first half. Altona have a 2-goal lead. They're leading by 3 goals courtesy of their goalkeeper, Frano Saric. Now have a free kick and the extra man. They could certainly look to have another 3-goal buffer reinstalled, but they need to use this free kick opportunity and the next 80 seconds fortuitously. City are going to hold on to dear life. This will be a gleaming opportunity missed by Altona if they can't take it. Rastic for Bezapor, let it roll. This is where Josh, City could arguably, if they're to win the game, they have to be very clean here. But Altona could close the show. The next goal is so important, and Altona simply have it right for the taking. Rastic, extra man with the Knights. Latini. Bezapor all on his own. So is Mark Saric. Souza gets in the way. Sess McCullough trying to shift gears. It falls back with Bezapor. Mark Saric has an opportunity. Rastic flies. And they're going to take all the seconds off the clock. Smartly, City. Bezapor's there, but so is Nepomuceno. Souza takes the game on. Still going is Daniel Souza. He broke 2 players. Bezapor tries to compete for it. Moana says, let's keep going, boys. 12 seconds left. Knights with the extra man. They have to go now, you feel. Rastic trying to take it on. Latini. Nobody home. This is a major missed opportunity for Altona. They have the extra player. Given the sending off of Nam Pham. The first 23 minutes of futsal has been played in this relegation bout. The Knights with a 2-goal lead. They lead 3-1 to Western City, who are without Nam Pham. We crossed to half-time. Josh a bit, perhaps, well, amused by that one. I'm only quoting Marco Chavallo. But Mr. Fusco, we usually cross to half-time. I want to just flesh out what we've witnessed there. We need a replay on both Nepomuceno and Saric's goals, respectively.
Do we?
I think we do, Josh. As Jarrah Miller looks to warm up in goal with Tran at the end of this.
Let's have a look.
First half, but a lot to unpack here.
Oh, here's Javares.
Towards the replay.
That's not Javares, that's the other.
Well, and just to flesh it out, Tran could not do anything about it. The trajectory of the ball had simply flung from one direction and curved the complete opposite. Sarge makes a big save, and then Nepomuceno first time, bang!
Toe poke.
In you go. Get in. Have it.
Here's the thing, they're at a major disadvantage, Western City. It'll be very difficult for them to come back now. Very difficult. It's not impossible, obviously, but...
No Nam Pham. Josh, does a red card carry on in terms of players on court? Does that carry on to the second half?
We'll cross to a short... No, you'd have to ask Joe.
Can't exactly do that at the moment. Joe's on refereeing commissioner duties, having quite the chat with Benjamin Cullen on the far bottom left corner of your screen. Can't see them both. But it's got to be a real testament to Franel Saric. Without him, it has to be said, the Knights look soulless. Being back tonight in attendance, the man in red, his presence, his leadership qualities, his player ability. Without him, not a disrespect, of course, to the Knights players, but it's a real testament to the force field. Without him, they look lost at sea. With him, they look like a side, as they did in the first season this year. Top 4 finishes. And moving forward, of course, onto the big court, it's an experienced Altona Knights side. They don't really boast much youth. It's a very older or more experienced, perhaps is the better way to phrase it, in terms of their average playing age. But, of course, bigger court next year. A few question marks might be raised into terms of where they can go as a club, if they can climb the heights of ending a season not in any relegation, playoff or automatic position. And you just wonder, of course, where they're going to go if they are to live another day. Playoffs, of course, in their way also, so nothing set in stone if it remains the same. They still have to get around Western City. And as they have done for the last 7 to 8 weeks, they've thrown everything at the wall, hoping it would stick. They have another 23 minutes following this last 90 seconds at half-time to turn this one around. Jared Miller you'd expect to come back on court. He's being seasoned by Tran. Josh, if they had to do it Western City, you feel as if Nepomuceno now having the sole responsibility, Nam Pham not on court, but you'll need more from Kane, Sesmakula, Trin, Souza, Alice in particular also. But who would be the man, aside from Nepomuceno, to stand up for Western City?
They're going to have to work as a team if they want to come back from 3-1 now. I don't think it's that one player that's going to exactly win it for Western City.
David Sarge has been very busy. He's been very vocal, very animated, very tense to what tonight could potentially mean to his Knights. But he got the first half right. It was a 3-goal advantage. Messina made it only a 2-goal advantage. Got one back for City. Saric, Yanni Pira, both on the score sheet. The first to Mark Saric. The next 23 minutes ultimately decides the seasons and next year's first season for both teams involved. There is so much at stake. 2-goal buffer with the Knights. Kick-off not too far away in the next 23 minutes of futsal. Jaramillo is the man in between the sticks. Noel Sommer made the change. But they will be one player short. The Knights still with the advantage in terms of player numbers as we cross to the start of the second half. Alice aching to come on. He has to await that time period unless the Knights are to score. Sesmakula will take charge. Touch was a bit heavy. He stumbles on it. Gulak is there. He combines with Natoli. Souza got back at the nick of time. And they earn the free kick. City, that was an very important passage of play, Josh, which they won on that occasion, City. How they needed that.
Exactly. It's a minor victory. That'll one step in the grand scheme of this game.
You need all you can get if you're City at the moment. Yanni Pira on for Gulak. Natoli touches it around Sesmakula. And they get a free kick, Altona. Time ticking. Seconds like hours at the moment for City. They still, in fact, no, the extra players come on. It's an even playing field as Gulak trying to find the top right corner. They withstood the extra man, City. Jerry Miller, the goalkeeper, into the mix. How will he bring it back for the side trailing? Ellis. Souza. Nepomuceno. The idea was intentful. Lucas Vaz joining his Pascoval playing staff. There to close out the entire year with Western United following this bout. Pride to play in that one. Well, United will go into it wanting to have a win heading into their Clubs Cup final, the second one they'll play in this year. Gulak, it kept alive. Sesmakula wasn't facing the play. Knights have a corner and they could arguably close the game out here. The next goal still remains important. No time to rest if you're City. Yanni Pira awaits Natoli. Alice isolated, tried to go around Gulak. Touch last came off of Alice. It will be the Knights' ball. Tama Georgie watching on. Her former employer. Gulak let fly. Yanni Pira was there. Natoli, heavy touch. Sesmakula going to go on an adventure. Bit of a tongue twister. Natoli, short for Frano Saric. Searching ball for Natoli. Spun around it, Sesmakula. That's going to be a foul. And a card for Thomas Natoli. Not happy with himself, considering he gave away possession. Nepomuceno, Souza pivoting. Alice. Sesma Kula trying to go around Gulak. Bit of a push. They get a free kick, City. David Saric coming together with Sesma Kula. They're playing mind game zones at Altona. Ooh. David Saric telling Sesma Kula to get up. And it's prompted Trevor to have a bit of a chat. This one could boil over. That was prompted, by the man managing Altona. David Saric just trying to ruffle the feathers, and he's perhaps done that. He's trying to aggravate the Western City. The mind games, you need them on occasions like these. It's dirty tactics, but no matter the means necessary, you need to win if you're either side. Nepomuceno's free kick. Oh, it hits Seb Locke like an absolute bus. I'm surprised he's not winded by it. He's back up on his feet. Sousa's corner. Javaro wanted it. Alice, it sits up for him. He let it fly. Saric had to get low. Taken quickly. Sousa, Alice. Stepping inside Alice. Block. Seb Locke blocks again. Yanni Pira. Well rekindled by Natoli. Deep inviting ball. Nepomuceno got a touch. Alice for Javaro Nepomuceno. Back heel for Alice. He was going the other direction. He had to readjust. Sousa. Sesma Kula. Which way is he going to go? It's set up for him. Having bounced off the force field. It's so tense in here at the moment. Saric, brilliant ball for Natoli. He ran out of court. Josh, it is... I can't use profanity, but my word, it is stupidly intense and cutthroat in here at the moment. The arena knows it. Trin on court. Sousa stepping inside. Alice trying to get the angle. Alice deflecting. Yanni Pira interpreting. Nepomuceno, clean use of the body. Gets it back. Javaro Nepomuceno blocked by Seb Locke yet again. Gulak puts it on the deck. Yanni Pira trying to shift around. Javaro Nepomuceno trim with a heavy press. It's going to bounce off him. It'll be the Altona Knights ball. 17 minutes and 30 seconds left. The Rala Classico, as coined by those in the comments. Currently with the Knights. They lead by 2 goals. 3-1 the score. Jaramillo caught upon his ball-playing ability. Trin on a journey. Going inside was Trin. Brought to ground by Locke. Seb takes over. Off goes Seb Locke. Trin swept at his legs. And a card will be issued by the number 9 of Western City. The Knights with a free kick. A lot of froth on court at the moment. Rasticic will come on. Seb Locke gingerly coming off. Bit of a 10 on Seb Locke. He might have enjoyed a vacation somewhere. Or perhaps is working in the Melbourne summer, which is in full flight, although today not really a summer's day, with the sun not shining. Gulak stands behind it. Rasticic a short option. You'd assume the big man of Sinan Gulak will utilise Rasticic from this free kick opportunity that awaits Altona. You could spread the tension on toast. Can't understate it enough. Gulak from the free kick. Trying to go around the wall, under it rather. Nepomuceno had blocked. Yanni Pira's corner. Natoli coming short. Rasticic was at the back post, looking to make inroads. Trin couldn't win on that individual battle with Yanni Pira. Good use of the body by the man recovering for City. Nepomuceno on for Ellis. Cross court, it's given away. Yanni Pira was going for it. Not cleared adequately by Alice. Jaramillo went very long. Natoli got in the way. City getting a bit, perhaps, well, caught on the moment. Going for it a bit too early. Natoli's out of court. Oh, Anas knew it. He sounded his whistle. The foul starting to go from both sides. 3-2, Altona leading that count. Sousa awaits the movement of Trin. Has to rekindle. Ko. Nepomuceno. Trin stepping inside. Sousa! Saved by Saric. Corner forthcoming. Trin on the angle. Saric says that's bread and that's breakfast in bed for me. He took over with no real qualm about it. Bezapur flew a boot at it. City's goalkeeper possession was thrown to Souza. Ko had it caught behind him, stumbling on it now was Blue Ko. Went around Yanni Pira. Somehow with a nutmeg, he was working out of a phone box. Corner for City. Ko inviting cross. Souza. Nepomuceno. Not on the same wavelength as Trin. Mark Saric took over. Rasticic holding it up. Mark Saric, he assumes City will try to take time off the clock. Next goal they receive will be Curtains. The back post was Yanni Pira. The next, you think, 5 to 10 minutes. Ever so imperative for City. They have to get back in terms, not in just a tendency, but on the scoreboard. They've got to ask some questions, but the Knights have really set up shop. While Sorma has just gone on an adventure here. You might see him nearly on court. Souza impedes Rasticic. Free kick. The Knights. Rasticic stands behind it. He's practically in the City technical area. Into the wall it goes. Never got off the tarmac. Frano Saric. Oh, blocked by Souza. Nepomuceno thought about going over the top. He ball rolls away from Rasticic. Trin is there. The teeny was also, it looked as if it might have gone in inadvertently from an own goal. Saric just keeping Joe Mello honest. Trin, brilliant ball for Nepomuceno. Saric with a great slide. That of Mark Saric. Souza. Trin stepping around. Souza, Nepomuceno. Once City break down the wall of Altona, they can't get round the force field. Ko tried to deliver that killer punch. It's palmed away by Saric. Bezapur in the mix. Latini combining. Souza trying to block. Knights side ball. Last 13 minutes, nearing the halfway point of this second half. Bezapur brought to ground again by Ko. Free kick yet again for the Knights. And Josh, you could argue they've got the ascendancy at the moment. They've got the game. Not just on the scoreboard on their terms, but in terms of momentum on their merit.
No, you haven't got the game till the whistle's blown, till the final whistle's blown. They need to stay at this pace the entire 12 and a half minutes, or else they could easily let it slip. Javari looks like he's on a mission. I think the yellow card's just been pulled out.
Latini senses opportunity here from the free kick. Joe Miller denies, it stung his palms. Nepomuceno keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Former FC Carlton Hut teammates Nepomuceno and Michael Latini coming together. Saric, Rasticic. There with Souza. Chip cross for Mark Saric. First time side foot out of play. Halfway point has been reached. Joe Milo, Souza. Lovely flick for Kane. He couldn't read it. That was a moment of individual brilliance from Daniel Souza. He caught it mid-air. That's what City needed. They just couldn't interpret it. Rasticic on a run. He kept going, blocked by Jaramillo. How they might kick themselves there, City. Mark Saric for Latini. It was inviting for the keeper's near post. Jaramillo, long ball for Ko. Great control. Rasticic with the man muscle. Saric caught on it, perhaps by Ko, shoved him to the ground like it was nothing. Kane got the final touch. Nepomuceno utilises Jaramillo. Souza, last 11 minutes of play. Stoppage time 6 minutes away. Souza has Ko. Rasticic in the way. Kane gets the ball back. Sesmakula on court. Really attacking mindset now from Noel Soma. Sousa central. Ball for Kane. Needs some magic from Ibrahim tonight. Oh, so the pedestrian pass, and now Seblok's isolated. Ooh, I tell you what, that might have been a let-off there for City. It looked as if it deflected from up here. Benjamin Cullen, of course, with the call. He's the man in charge. Sousa combining with Sesmakula. Time now a factor also. Nepomuceno hadn't caught it. Altona drinking up all the time they possibly can. Other team haven't really blinked in this second half. Saric asking a bit of Mark, his brother. A brief standstill. Serious Futsal arena here in Thomastown comes to. Mark Saric effort block. Nepomuceno. I don't think he's had a spell yet. Javaro Nepomuceno tried to thread it through towards Kane. Inviting pass for Sesmakula. Can he get his angle? There with Mark Saric. Moanas says play on. And Bezapor's gone on the journey. We'll get a corner for Altona. Nine minutes we're closing in towards. As it stands, Altona will be in the playoffs. It sits for Frano. He came with Sesmakula. Nepomuceno's an open goal. If he can get round the teeny, they couldn't. That could have been a moment for City. They've cried out for one. To no response by the Futsal gods. Bezapour shifting. Berard Bezapour scoring. How big is that for Altona? The Persian singer on cue. He sings on the futsal court, and a very important goal for Altona. Brilliance from Berard Bezapour. They lead by 3 goals now, Altona. 4-1 on the score. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, and dare I say, Josh, it could be curtains. City with a taller mountain to climb.
I think it's if you say curtains, it's not the most outrageous idea of all time. Still plenty in it. 8 minutes.
Plenty of time, Josh, but Altona have the game on their terms. It's going to be very difficult for City now. They've been so valiant at the back end of this year. They've had games you could argue that should have gone their way. They've got 5 fouls now awarded to them. Mr. Fusco, this is... Oh, that's an obscure position to be in. They could be staring down the barrel here. How those previous losses might come to haunt them. They have to leave it all on the court now. Nearing our last 7 minutes. Natoli taking over. Sesmakula has to be careful. Yanni Pira threw a boot at it. And City have to tread water lightly. They're on 5 fouls. They can't be too aggressive in trying to get the ball back. How the Knights made it come together in this final game of the season. It's a real testament to them, but is there a lifeline for City? The amount of times we've echoed those words on commentary. You have a coin for those, well, you'd be a millionaire. They've needed lifelines all season long. They got their pulse reverberating again against Western United. That was their last win. Altona's last taste of victory was against City near 2 months ago. And that will be enough to send them here tonight to the playoffs if they are to hold on. In a commanding position now to do so. Locke. Sousa takes charge. Brilliant ball towards Nepomuceno. He tried too much, perhaps Javaro. But it's called back for a foul. Javaro perhaps had it all to do. Of course, he tried to take Saric out the equation. You can't blame him for that. But Sinan Gulaki could simply have the playoff position all set in stone for Altona. This could be it here, Josh Fuska. As Sinan Gulak steps up, Jerry Miller's called upon here. He makes a big save. How that was needed for City. That has to prompt them into some form of response. Neba Messino, angle got tight. Ses Makula, lock blocks. Now Yanni Pira's in. He shifts beyond Ses Makula. Kanazeta greet him. Massive passage. And City needed that shift in momentum. Neba Messino, it was so close for Ses Makula. And now at the other end, Natoli shifts away from Souza and could not have gotten any closer than that. All Altona Knights upstanding on their bench. Neba Messino could be in, twisting, turning, wow. Jafaro not scoring. He's pulled out all the stops in his arsenal. Natoli might have been held. Joe Miller will play it on anyway. Souza with Natoli. Back heel for Ses Makula. Neba Messino, back post was Souza. How City will love to see the stop clock. The Knights were buying seconds. It hasn't stopped yet because play will resume with Saric. Natoli, last 5 minutes. Mark Saric tried an acrobatic. And Benjamin Cullen, much to the disagreement of Mark David Saric, calls it Western City's way. Josh, they need a goal here. It's as simple as that for any form of a comeback. City are known for their moments. I've seen them this year, like a broken record. I've mentioned it against FC Carlton Hart back in round 9. Kevin Clutch Lamb within the dying seconds equalised for City. But they need to start the comeback now. They've left it too late. They need some goals. They'll be going at a goal a minute to win it. A goal every minute 20 to have it back on level terms. The next few passages, ever so important for safety, or a chance at it at least. Souza with Kennett. City's side ball. Kane for Ses Makula, blocked by Rasticic. The Knights players, like a magnetic pull towards the ball each time City try get a shot on goal. Jaramillo. Trin back to Jaramillo. Souza the reverse option. They've gone fifth man. That was needed, you know. Jaramillo pedestrian. David Saric wants to rally the troops. They're leading by 3 goals. Have a timeout. We're going to get some composure here on commentary. We cross to a short timeout break.
Grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma, hands up.
the predicament as it currently stands. City can't make a foul, else Altona will have a chance to close the show. There's a slight possibility that grows narrower by the second for Western City. The call here by Noel Sorma is to have the fly kit on Daniel Souza. They have to go for it. Dare I argue they should have done this perhaps 3 odd minutes ago to give themselves a greater chance. They've got one extra player on court. City's last roll of the dice. The occasion getting caught up to us even all the way up here on commentary. Nepomuceno for Ellis. Back to Javara Nepomuceno. The Knights closing behind the ball. Souza, Trin, pedestrian. Lettini lets it roll. Nepomuceno ushers it out of play. 3:24 rather left on the clock. Souza, the makeshift goalkeeper. Nepomuceno for Alice. Bit of a heavy press from the Knights. Lock and Souza came together. Trin. Nepomuceno. They need something here, City. They have to score from this passage. Souza. Can they get their goal to get them within half a chance? Desperation from Alice. Kanarazi, he goes down in the box. No claims of a penalty. Saric trying desperately to clear. Kane for Trin. Moanas wants the froth mop to be called. In fact, what's happened here? It's been called back, I think. It's going to be a side possession for Altona. The ball gone out of play. Saric, long ball for Mark Saric. Joe Milo back in goal. Altona having the game on their terms. They got their early goals. That's some magic from the magician. They're looking to fight another day. Bezadpour, Seblock to win it. Back for Berard Bezadpour, and that would have been it. It's as simple as this. City need to score, and they have to now to be any mathematical chance. Alice can't find it there for them. Well, they have to be perfect from here. There's no other way around it, City now. Yanni Pira, intelligence personified. Seblock, they're looking to kill the clock. Frano Saric will chip it long to the corner. 2:20 flat left on the clock. It's, you'd assume, too tall of a mountain to climb. Kane for Nepomuceno. Alice, let's fly, blocked. Bezapur tried going for it. Alice got in the way. And well, although I'm quite the optimist, it's nearly impossible now, you'd assume. Bezapur holds up the clock, goes in a dance. Berard Bezapur. That's a great outcome for Altona. And they're all smiles at the moment. They know that they could be living to fight another day. Bezapur rolling inside. Had it roll his way. Kept going, Berard. Bezapur tried an acrobatic because why not? Minute 58 left. Joe Miller goes long. Kane couldn't get the ball rolling his way. Side possession City. It would take a miracle in Thomastown for it to happen. Souza, Alice, Nepomuceno, no look to Kane, can't go around block. Trin got in there. Yanni Pira nipping at the heels of Nepomuceno. Alice, Souza, fly kid on him. Nepomuceno, Trin stepping, Seblock blocking, and he has been a man mountain for Altona today. His defensive outlet, you could argue, has won Altona the game. Last 90-odd seconds on the horizon. City staring down the barrel of automatic relegation. Trin for Nepomuceno. Is there a very late twist in the tail? Nepomuceno for Alice. Sousa not there. And well, it's worth mentioning now, the die has been cast. The name been written in the death note. Western City to fall to relegation. It's just a testament to the competition, its level of competitiveness, considering they'd finished third only 5 months ago. Yes, a lot of personnel change. Yes, a major shift in playing staff. Boy, did they build, though, at the back end of this season. They really tried coming together. Noel Sommer pulled out all the stops. Got Javara Nepomuceno on board, got Daniel Sousa on board. Tom Ellis also made his way across from Championship Futsal. But it was not to be. The Knights, another very outlet full of talent, but they hadn't really hit their strides, of course. On the night where it mattered most, got the job done. And although it's not all set in conclusivity, it's not too far away at all. Nam Pham made his return tonight, and well, he was sent off, and perhaps since that moment, although City had withstood the pressure of having an extra player on court, they never seemed to find any form of rhythm following that moment. Nam Pham sending off. The Knights know they've done it. How strong they look with Saric on court. Both Mark and Frano. Yanni Pira, his moment of magic, he waited all season to give it out, but on the biggest stage he did. Mark Saric to close it out. Joe Miller will save. Last 9 seconds. David Saric embraces his players. He knows the job is done for now, and that the Knights will live to see another day. Playoffs awaiting them. Seb Locke and company holding the ball in the corner for the last 6 seconds. Where to for Western City? That's the real question. Where to for the Knights? Although there's smiles now, there's still a lot of futsal that remains ahead of them. In their quest for safety, to fight again, to live again for another day at the top of the summit. The Altona Knights get the job done at the expense of Western City, who succumb to automatic relegation. They're back in Championship Futsal for the first time since 2022. The Knights live to see another day, and we'll cross to a short timeout break, commercial break, whatever you might call it. Lot to unpack there, Josh Fusco. Our player of the match interview not too far away, but the Knights live to see another day. They're in the playoffs. We're joined by Frano the Forcefield Saric. Quite the match that you played out there. The Knights live to see another day at the top of the summit. Your immediate thoughts?
Yeah, no, that was a very, very good game. Boys really dug deep. They knew what was at stake, and now it's on to the playoffs, whatever. I think we're playing Carlton, if it is what it is. But yeah, if we, the sad thing is, if we play like that, maybe all year, we wouldn't be in this situation. But credit to the boys, they defended hard, played hard, and got the result we wanted. So it's good.
And in terms of your own moment tonight, of course, haven't seen you in some time. Parental leave is the reason why we haven't seen you. Major congratulations to the Saric family and yourself.
Thank you very much.
But all considered, your moment tonight. The game's in the balance in the first half. Yanni Pira has his moment of magic. Mark Saric also on the score sheet. You then decide, well, you know what? I'm him. I'm Frano Saric. You beat the brakes off the ball and you score. We need your thought process in that moment.
Yeah.
What was going through your head?
Miami, please don't go. That's all that was going through my head. I didn't know I had that power left, but yeah, I was just pleased. I was like, please don't go. And she stayed all good, and ball went in the back of the net, and I got a bit excited actually. I turned to the bench and I did it at UC7 as I like to call it, and yeah, it was an awesome goal, and yeah, it is what it is. 3 points matters, and I'm not going to do that anymore because I'm worried about my hamstring. Can't do it.
And just lastly, not to keep you too long, but as you mentioned, the playoffs still ahead. What now for yourself and Altona? How can you try and inspire your players to get together, find those moments of magic, and ultimately live to see another day next year on the big courts here in the Men's Series Futsal League?
Yeah, no, just maybe if I score another goal, they might be inspired, and then maybe Bedard will score out, Marky will score out, Yanni will score out, hopefully. So as long as I score first, she'll be right. That's it. Or I did 3 saves, I don't know. Either one.
They live to see another day. The Altona Knights in the playoffs at the expense of the automatically relegated Western City. That was Frano Saric with his post-match player interview.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day it's good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group, and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No? They know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard and maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
And what remains ahead of us, although there's not much to play for, we want to be a complete love letter to this brilliant facility here in Thomastown. The final time in which a men's series futsal match will be played on this court before us, and it's between Pascoe Vale and Western United. Lucia Novak and company have had a decent year. They climbed out of the championship. They won it, they came back to the big time and have cemented a third place finish. They were rather unlucky to crash out of the Clubs Cup at the expense of the defending champions of Moreland. They've had their controversial moments this season, but they have been a certain side on the resurgence. Jarvis Gin is reinstated as goalkeeper. His ankle injury wasn't too bothersome in the end. Hence, he returns. Andres Delgado joins Lucas Vaz, Yaura Silva, Brandon Simiao, Matthias Asumsao, Shavin Ahn, Albion Kachi, the secondary goalkeeper. Yaquin Jimenez also in the starting lineup. And Alison Lima, player of the month for Pascoe Vale. Quite the season he's enjoyed. The Chachi brothers, of course, still serving, or one of the Chachi brothers of Aidan Chachi, still serving his touchline ban. We'll enjoy the game with Theo and Peter Parthamos. As for Salama Mohammed's men, Isho Haskell's the understudy goalkeeper. Jerry and Angus Angelatos join Taizé Sakurada on the bench. Fernando de Moraes lines up with Felipe Evangelista, Sako Aljaran and Elias Parthamos all on court. Of course, it's not the final contest we'll see in terms of men's futsal action. Clubs Cup and playoffs still to play. I'll just add to the signing off here in Thomastown. Very bittersweet occasion tonight might be for many. On a personal footnote, it certainly is. But as we look to continue to try elevate the sport across not just Melbourne but Australia, we need to ultimately play on an internationally recognised court. Hence we've made that transition. So exciting times in the cards for futsal. Many exciting players currently on court. Two very evenly matched teams, Pascoe Vale having the measure of Western this season. And of course, worth mentioning on the topic of Western, Val Soma and company have succumbed to automatic relegation. But we remain assured that, well, they'll certainly mix up the championship next season upon their return. And we'll, I'm sure, look to find themselves back in the peak competition by the midway point of next year. And although Fran Osaric alluded to the age of his Knights, they are to remain consistent and perhaps find some fitness in their vintage. Could certainly pose some problems. Just like Pascoe Vale have, as Yalda Silva combined with Alison Lima. Nice transition play between them two. Lima at the back post. Parthamos cuts it off. Bit of duress he was under to try clear. Arn will utilise Jarvis Chin. Sidestepping ball back to Arn. Brilliant weighted pass for Yalda Silva. Matthias Assumpção, we cannot wait to see what he can provide on a big court. He'll have so much more space to work in. And it's going to be a fantastic time seeing what he can do. Subject to availability. Shavin Arn. That's how you start a contest like this. Nothing Aaron New could do to keep it out. In all his goalkeeping brilliance. And it's 1-0 to Pascoe Vale. Far corner, bang, right in. And you flung it thin air. Nothing he could do to keep it out. Pascoe Vale hunting the hat-trick upon the United counterpart. And on the sake of all the players currently on court, of course, other commitments might just prevent them from entering the courts on a Friday, but you certainly hope that Pascoe Vale can keep the likes of Lucas Vaz and Matthias Assumpção. Western City, of course, that's if Gerard Epimancino does remain with Noel Sorma next year. That'll be another concern in which they'll have to ultimately face. Lucas Vaz ready to come on. Haven't seen him since the Clubs Cup exit only 2 weeks ago. Well, Jaron kept it in somehow, and it must be mentioned, before this game kicked off, he was awarded with the Best Series Youth Player. Yalda Silva, big save by Aaron New. Parthamos taking no chances out for a Pascoe Vale corner. Alison Lima wanted it. No look pass. He laughs it off, considering he wasn't looking. Well, that's why he wasn't looking. The ball went right out of play. Evangelista, Jarvis Chin was a little bit uncertain. As stated many times before, United take out the clean sweep in the youth competitions. All in all for this season, Salman Mohammed took out with his side 2 youth championship wins. They're head and shoulders above the opposition. And this season, last being a little bit closer. It's now just about transitioning that quality into the men's senior competition. Tim Moraes in his vintage, very intelligent. Measured pass for Parthamos. Equally as measured for Jaron hits the post. Evangelista couldn't follow it up. That would have been some well-crafted goal. Meanwhile, Assumpção couldn't access Chevinan. While Jaron wants to go on a journey on his own. Saka Jaron can't go around Yalda Silva. Alison Lima. Nice open complexion to this game. Aaron New will shift it sideways for Evangelista. Does the same for Di Moraes. Parthamos. Which way is EP going to turn? The cannon looking to fire. Di Moraes. Evangelista holding the ball. Sumser trying to hold him off it. Lima. Day trader's a physio. Night trader's a ferocious futsal player. De Silva, Sumser. For any medical requirements, might want to hit up Alison Lima. This is in possession here. Takes a nice touch, Alison Lima, over the crossbar. Of course, on Sunday, the go-home show for Championship. And there's a lot at stake for Melbourne Arcu, vying for that third available playoff position. Locked in the same points as Northern Phoenix. They really turn things around, all considered. They're looking to try to cement themselves at the top of the summit. Lovely flick on, and that is a fantastic goal from Western United. Angelatos flicked it on, and while Jaron flicked it past Jarvis Chin, we need all the replays that the man in the bunker can give us. That was something of absolute superlative. The delivery as crisp as the finish, and that is somewhere to respond from Western United by their Youth Championship Player of the Season of Sako Aljaran, who had the simple job. How was the assist from Angus Angelatos? Delicious. More of that, please, gentlemen. Di Moraes winding back the years. Jarvis Chin interpreting. Bit of a high boot from Fernando Di Moraes. And on comes Lucas Vaz. And I believe Andres Delgado. Some sound busting around while Jaron. Parthamos asked a lot of it. Vaz, good interpretation. Ball getting a bit stuck in that side of court. Robocop, although also a player entering the final years of his playing career. Been busy in the gym, trying to strengthen himself as Parthamos still going, Elias Parthamos. What a run that was. Moved like a cat, trying to cipher through all the busy traffic. Earned a corner for United. Di Moraes, Valjaran, heavy press from Andres Delgado. He got it off Valjaran. Parthamos using Aaron New. Sideways pass for Di Moraes. Parthamos, Valjaran, good scope of the space. Caught on it was Valjaran from Yaku and Jimenez. Valjaran on for Aaron New. Simi out, trying to out-muscle the Greyhound, Angus Angelatos. Parthamos wants Calvary. Utilises Valjaran. Gets it back, Parthamos. Di Moraes. One-touch futsals on the cards. It will sit with Angus Angelatos. Ushers it out of play. Jerry Angelatos with the bib off. Many of these United youngsters had featured Northern Phoenix in the F-League last week. Of course, more F-League futsal to follow on from tomorrow. The finals have already been girthed, with the grand finals of both the women's and men's to be played on Sunday. It'll be on Football Victoria's Facebook and YouTube channels. Who ultimately punches their tickets to the Futsal Nationals. That must be said. Also in January, quite the busy month for the indoor circuit here at Series Futsal and Futsal Oz. The Youth Championships to be played out yet again. Under 8s, under 10s, under 12s, under 14s, under 23s. Lots of futsal on the cards. So I hope you have no plans in January. Vaz, nice interpretation. Robocop couldn't flick. Valjaran, Benjamin can't put his whistle down. And Sako Valjaran Completely wrong-footed Jarvis Chin. Jimenez trying to find Delgado. The Angelatos brothers combining, out of court they go. Lucas Vaz. Yaquin Jimenez. How's a sidestep? Ball for Lucas Vaz. Delgado. Yaquin Jimenez. Pascoval loving their time in possession. Delgado back towards Simiao. Delgado got it around Di Moraes. Jimenez trying to go around Jerry Angelatos, does so. Lateral pass for Delgado. Jimenez back in possession. Vaz, first touch. Simiao caught on it. Benjamin Khan's whistle will sound. That'll be drawn back for a free kick. Question marks perhaps around Pascoval in terms of where they can go. They were competitive at one stage of the season. Of course, Fitzroy and Moreland got themselves well and truly involved in the title race. There were very slight claims from Pascoval in their earlier round match-up against Fitzroy. Were very well impressive. Had a 3-goal lead at half-time. Of course, the champions turned it around, as they always do. But based on that performance alone, just don't know where they can go. Pascoval, they've been certain custodians of futsal in Australia. They've been fairly involved for a long time, and they're trying to re-cement themselves back at the top in a competitive standpoint. Maurizio Novak has called for a timeout. They have a corner upon their return to court. Well, side ball corner, very deep. We'll cross to a short timeout break.
Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction.
Deep side possession for Pascoval. How has Yaquin Jimenez not scored there? It was all for him to do, and Aaron Hughes somehow got out of that alive and having not conceded. Strolling across is Moanas to mop that froth off the court. Tiro Diaz not on playing duties tonight, but he's having a laugh on the bench with those in Pascoe Vale colours. Of course, made a brief stint return to Fitzroy in F-League competition. Javaro Messino also involved in that team, led by Jimmy Soufis and Gabriel Zeballos. Forget about that, because Evangelista went over the top. The ball nearly touched the lights on the roof, and on its way in, the back post was Angelatos, but Evangelista on the deck. Sumsel coming across to have a look. That's a fine touch of sportsmanship. Brief pause in play yet again. And if anything, in the comments, both on Twitch and YouTube, let us know your favourite moment that you've seen in men's series competition over all the years here in Thomastown. It's worth having a rekindle. It's worth going down memory lane. Having glanced at the comment section, Nico Gnadiatis, well, he's going to be a very happy man tonight, I'm sure. The celebratory drinks have started. They're at the wedding he's attending. Well done, Knights, he might have mentioned some time ago. Evangelista looks as if he's out with injury. Might be a big loss for Western, although they've got nothing really left to play for this year. They're all wrapped up, they're all done in terms of competition. So I'm sure it won't be too much of a loss. For United, of course, have the Club's Cup. It still remains ahead of them. Angelatos cuts it off. Jarvis Chin makes himself big, as he had to. Corner was taken quickly as Sumsel with Jimenez. They escape briefly. Sumsel, brilliant ball for Ran. As much as he might be outspoken, that man, both these men in possession, today bring some real entertainment value to both Pascoe Vale and the competition. Very technically gifted players. A lot of intelligence around them. Sumsel goes around Maljaran nicely. Matthias Sumsel is inviting Chevinan at the back post. An abundance of fun they are to call, and I'll watch as a neutral. Yalda Silva couldn't latch on, and he says, hey, play it shorter. Parthamos, Angelatos for Jerry Angelatos. Sakawel Jaran cut off by Matthias Sumsel. Teasing pass, nice cut off by Jerry Angelatos. Bit of a stalemate this one's entered. Aaron New will start to trying to get off his line a little bit, perhaps. Jarvis Chin interprets. Sumsel tried it, and you might as well, Matthias. Peter Parthamos with a smile. Without in charge, he's clutching at his lower back there, Matthias. I'm not sure if it was worth the highlight reel. If it had gone in, of course, it certainly would have been. And why not? It's a parting piece tonight here in Thomastown. There's nothing more in which moving forward we'll see on this court. So send it out as adequately as you can. Nick Parthamos also in the building. A few United women's players in attendance. Fitzroy, Jaron, Stella Nissen, Amanda Araha watching on. Alison Lima shielding the ball nicely. Dare I say, it's not an awful much to really open up about this game. It's been rather tight. Pascoval trying to force the issue. United really sound in their defence at the moment. Looking to be unravelled perhaps. Lima keeps it in just. There's the opening. It's over the top. Yada Silva heavy on the touch. Jerry Angelatos has been busy defensively. He's caught in a phone box here. He's had to go long. Sakurada and Evangelista looking to come back on. It's good to see Felipe is not too poorly injured. Despite that heavy collision, De Silva's pass intended. The target was Alison Lima. Aaron Newell on the deck for Angus Angelatos. It's a brilliant goal which Samuel Jones scored off the back of some magic from the Greyhound Angelatos. In response to the opener from Arn as Aljaran ball roll very tight along the touchline with Samuel Aljaran. Sumsau nearly caught on it. In fact, he was, but Yalda Silva took over. Out of court, combines with Fernando de Moraes. I think both sides are rather comfortable with tonight's contest. They're not really exerting too much. I don't necessarily need to. But there's still 3 points on for offer. In retrospect, they've both had very good seasons, both clubs. Silverware intertwined with Western and Pascoe Vale. So I don't think they'll be too phased. The Black Army of Hugh mapped up last week, but they'll return shortly for playoffs on the Northern Phoenix. Well, Melbourne Arcu they'll face FC Carlton Heart to square up against Altona. Of course, Motanka side weren't too far away from Western United in that safe fourth place position. Other side in which, if they had games go their way, they might have been lucky as Evangelista. Brilliant. Yada Silva basically off the line. It sits up for Fernando de Moraes. Big save by Jarvis Gin was what was needed. United corner, Sakurada for Evangelista, bouncing, has it hit the hand of Alison Lima, they'll protest, they'll fall solid. Well, Jaron heading the ball towards Balquis, well, Jaron. And out of play. 17 games played, 9 wins, 8 losses, 81 goals scored, 69 conceded. Score difference of 12 for Pascoe Vale. United, a little bit. A strange one actually to unpack there with United. 7 wins, 10 losses, 54 goals for, 67 goals conceded. Aaron Yu fizzing it in for Evangelista. Of course, stats aren't everything, but upon interpreting that knowledge, it's, you could argue, an alarming, not alarming, but certainly an eyebrow-raising statistic. Well, their chemistry was certainly a major talking point. They were in the playoffs last season. United, they clawed themselves out of it. Really enthralling contest they played out to keep themselves alive. Simiao still going, Parthamos. gets in the way. Looking to really try cement themselves. Western. Sumsau still going, chopped at the legs by Evangelista. And you feel like that's got to be a card. Sumsau back up on his feet. Aaron New with a pat to say, "You're all right, mate. Let's get going." Unfortunately for a Sumsau, the flair he possesses, players or his opponents rather, sometimes have to utilise that option of just shopping at the legs. It's not the right one, but when you're up against it, sometimes what's right doesn't really matter. So he takes a brief spell on the bench. Jimenez will replace Sumsau. And Lucas Vaz will stand before the ball. What can Robocop provide? And in fact, upon Mazen Abdallah's first accolade of commentator's goal of the year, it might need to be all but confirmed, because upon reminiscing, it's Lucas Vaz against Altona. Scored that stupid bicycle kick against Frano Saric. We might need to revisit that as Lucas Vaz rolls it. Simiao flies it. Parthamos blocks it. Jimenez will have a side ball. Inviting for Lima, bounces off United's shirt. Now Parthamos wants to go. Evangelista, the reverse option. Lovely bit of skill to utilise Parthamos, trying to go around Robocop. Jimenez in the way, keeps it in just. Evangelista will combine with Vaz. Flicking on for Yaquin Jimenez. Simiao, the intended target. Ball rolling. Sacco Aljaran clearing. Vaz receiving. Bit shallow for Jimenez. Gets it from Alison Lima. They're getting very crafty. Pascoval perhaps too crafty. Jarvis Chin taking on the game. Why not? Fernando Di Marais brought to ground. Jarvis Chin not too pleased with it. He's the last man he'd expect in the building for a push and a shove. He wasn't happy with Fernando Di Marais there.
Oh, that's the first time I've seen Jarvis getting a bit frustrated up there. I thought he was just joking, but pushing the King Nando's, that's insane.
That was our man Joe Akon, and he's not wrong at all considered. Never seen such happen. But they've called for a timeout, United. We'll cross to a short timeout break. We return following some very questionable comments by our media manager, Josh Fusco. Might have a strain in our relationship if he continues in such form, but trying to strain the relationship of this match. 28 seconds left in this opening half. Timoraes, head down, thought he was going to strike. Evangelista, they tried something very questionable there, United, and well, that's why it didn't work.
That's definitely a waste of time out.
Not wrong at all by our man Joe. Pass over the top. Jarvis Chin will get in the way and see it out of play. And a push on the kick, as said by Joe. Well, that was probably the most eyebrow-raising moment of this first half as Aaron New spilt the chili. Faz wasn't there to convert, and that'll take us right in to the final ever half-time break on a Thomastown Series Futsal Arena court, where United and Pasco Vale are locked in to a 1 goal each contest. Half-time on the cards. Back shortly.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
And away we go. Last half of action in the Men's Series Futsal League here in Thomastown. Send-off not too far away, of course. Who has the last victory? It's already had a lovely second half start. Send-off not too far away. Oh man, that's having a chat with Andres Delgado and Elias Parthamos. EP will have a chance to fire the cannon. His family firmly in attendance. Another moment of magic from EP. What can the cannon conjure up here? He's certainly going to give it a crack, you reckon. Parthamos steps up. Wasn't too far away. Corner. The case. And Galatos flick on from Evangelista. Cleared by Delgado. Vaz off to the races. Sidestepping. Ball for Simiao. Taken out of play. And the froth mop just delaying proceedings. Jimenez. Simia back to Jimenez. They claim a push. The play will resume. Delgado. Trying to get around Parthamos, his counterpart number. Unable to do so. Simia all by himself at the back post. Darren, you had to palm away. And Galatos says, oh, have it. Nearly caught napping were United. Lucas Vaz. Expect to see him, the More and Blue shirt, come tomorrow and potentially Sunday. Ibidi Chichek also featuring for the Blues in F-League Futsal. All in build up to what's on the cards come January. Jimenez for Lucas Vaz. Nice pass, Delgado. Simiao, not away from Angelatos. I'll try again. Pascoe really just trying to choke out United. Cheap giveaway from Vaz. Ball was rolling upon its departure from the side ball. Hence, Elias Parthamos has possession. Aaron New stepping up. Further forward, Parthamos. On the back from Evangelista, still going EP. Jerry Angelatos, Parthamos once more. Angelatos, Avangas wanted it. Vaz will block it. Side ball forthcoming once more, this time for those in green and black. Parthamos awaits the movement. Evangelista stepping, dispatching, blocking was Simiao. In fact, rather was Delgado. Angelatos. Aaron Yu will give it a crack. Well, when you train with the Dr. Andre Caro frequently,